Masterpiece MP-18B Bluestreak, only this is the KO version, the knockoff here. And as you can see from the packaging, it's not hard to identify this particular toy as a knockoff. If you look on the package, you can see there's absolutely no Transformers branding on this package, which is very helpful if you're out in the wild and it's still in package. It can help you notice that it's not, in fact, a Transformer, legitimate one. You see up here in the corner, there usually would be a Transformers banner, Transformers Masterpiece. It's completely absent on this box. It's not anywhere on the box, not even on the sides, not even on the top or bottom. Just no Transformers branding at all. And this is Takasa Tony product as opposed to Takara Tomy. You can see down even in the corner, instead of the Autobot symbol, they've got a C, and instead of MP, they've got just P18B. So like I said, this is super helpful if you're looking to identify the real thing. It's also missing some Japanese writing here in the bottom right-hand corner. The box itself is pretty standard. It's the same dimensions as the usual Takara Tomy box. The printing on it is a little bit weak in my opinion. There's some gloss over the car and the robot. I don't know if you can see this from the light, but it's not quite as glossy as the usual box. The rest of it's sort of a dull matte, and there's a lot of scan lines in there. And if you keep looking at it, I mean, this is just obviously a KO box, which is fine because you're getting a KO toy. The art is still the same art as was on the original box, and it still has the Nissan logo on it, and you can still see much of the detailing from the original box. It's just Takasa Tony branded, just like Wheeljack was, and Exhaust, and a couple of recent KOs that came out. There's the bot mode, Bluestreak. And you can see on the back, most of the stock photos are still there. Much of the Japanese writing is still present on this particular box. And I mean, it looks good. It's my box had a little dent in the corner, but this is due to the Chinese shipping. The box was pretty crisp. The cardboard's basically the same. Here again, you can see CP instead of MP. Just helpful KO makers, making sure at least you're not buying KO thinking that it's the real thing, at least not MISB anyway. And here's the bottom of the box. Just basically what you'd normally see, minus the things that are telling that it's a KO. And just going to take it out of the box here. One of the first things I wanted to show you after I started videoing, I noticed that the face on Hasbro Bluestreak is a lot sharper than the face on KO Bluestreak, especially around the mouth. It's a lot softer there, so there's a bit difference in the head sculpt. All right, so taking it out of the box. The car mode's pretty solid. Everything fits together really tight. There's not really any appreciable difference here in car mode from the legit version. Everything is pretty much lined up. It fits together well, snaps together. It's a little bit tight to transform, honestly. And here's the back end of it. Just giving you another look at it here. And then we're gonna go straight into robot mode here. Here he is with his buddy Bluestreak here. And sorry, getting a little feedback there. Let's taking a good look at him in robot mode. And there he is with his gun in hand and his launchers on his shoulders. Take it around to see the back here. And you can see whether I've mistransformed him or not. And everything, as you can tell, looks pretty much like it's supposed to look. All the parts are there. Everything is in good shape. To tell the truth, there's not a lot of difference between this and the legit mode. I did mention the face. The gun, I don't know if you can see this in the pictures, but the gun's molding is a little sloppy. The seams there are kind of rough compared to the legit product, or especially to the Hasbro Bluestreak that's standing there beside him. As I'm going to pull him around, you can see that gun's sculpting is a lot smoother. The bore of the gun, which you can't see in this particular shot, but the bore of the gun is not carved out very well. They really got sloppy with the gun. And it's loose in the hand as well. It doesn't peg in very well. You really have to close the grip. You can see the open bore on Bluestreak there. It's not like that on the KO. The gun was something I thought that was a missed opportunity for them. And anyway, but as far as the figure itself, there's not a lot of complaining I have to do here. The figure itself is pretty spot on. There may be a few minor differences. The plastic doesn't have any swirling. You see here the head on the KO that I have is a lot looser than the one on Hasbro Bluestreak here. The neck is quite loose on mine. But the other joints are actually really quite tight. In fact, the hip flaps on Hasbro Bluestreak that I have are extremely loose, whereas the hip flaps on this particular Bluestreak, the KO Bluestreak, are really quite tight. And his arms and legs, they peg together quite well. They're really nice and snug, and the plastic doesn't feel very cheap. There were a couple of moments there where I thought maybe I might snap a few things, but I don't see any stress marks. And like I said, other than the gun and the gun and the chest is a little difficult to peg in. It will go, but it's just not as tight as the usual Bluestreak. Anyway, showing you here again, the gun is loose in the hand, and my Hasbro Masterpiece Bluestreak holds on to his quite well, whereas KO Bluestreak, not so much. And also, there's a little bit of trouble with the launcher I had putting it on. The little peg that goes into it in the back, not so tight. But, if you're looking for a KO Bluestreak, if you don't mind, just a couple little things. This is actually a fairly good quality KO, and everything works out okay. I would recommend it. It's a lot cheaper. And if you don't feel like spending the whole entire amount on Bluestreak, this is the one for you.